Congresswoman Mary Miller, a member of the House Education and Workforce Committee. She represents the 15th Congressional District of Illinois. Congresswoman Miller, welcome to Washington Watch.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's always good to see you. All right, tell us about your bill, the Shielding Children's Retinas from Egregious Exposure on the Net Act.
That's why we call it the SCREEN Act.
Yeah, it's a little easier to say.
Acronyms help us. Well, what it's going to do is require pornography companies to use age identification technology so that underage child under 18 cannot access this pornography. And it's like a 5-alarm fire culturally for our children, for their souls. And no generation previous has the children been able to access the kind of filth.
But it's not just the kids accessing. It's these firms coming after them, trying to lure them in.
Customers.
Yes.
Longtime customers. This is like all other vices, very addicting. And the other vices we protect our children from: alcohol, tobacco, gambling,
anything that touches on sex, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a protected area for the left where you can't restrict kids.
Yeah, it's really bad, and it's very violent. I've had some people in my office, some physicians, that are informing me about how warped children's views of sex have become, and a lot of the pornography is violent toward women. And, you know, I started the Congressional Family Caucus to stand up for the American family, which is what I say, not a relic of the past. It's the cornerstone of civilization. But, you know, marriage rates are down, birth rates are down, and pornography addiction is part of the problem.
In fact, I haven't looked at the numbers lately, but about, I think, 16 states have declared pornography as a public health crisis.
Well, and Texas actually enacted a kind of a state enacted SCREEN Act, and it went through the Supreme Court. So another good thing about this passing from the House is that it's already tested from the Supreme Court. And anyway, I do think we're going to get bipartisan support.
That's good.
Which, shame on anybody that would vote against this.
You know, 25 years ago when I was in the legislature, I got a required filter on public computers for kids in libraries and places like in schools, and had to fight to get that. But technology has changed so much in 25 years and I've seen it. They come after the kids. They lure them in. They're not passive just being there. They're trying to get kids in, because then they have a customer for life.
80% of American children have access to this filth on the internet, and the average age is 11.
And it does things to the brain, because the brain is still developing until about the age of 25.
Yeah, I know.
And as they watch this, as you said, especially the violent toward women, it is very, very dangerous. I commend you for this. So what are the prospects here of getting this across the line?
Well, hopefully we're in session next week. There's all kinds of bad rumors that they might cancel session there's a lot of reasons. I don't know. But hopefully it will come on the floor next week, and it will pass and go to the Senate. The Senate has a version that's not very good. It won't pass. We have to get this passed out of the House.
All right. Do you have a bill number?
Well, I do, but I'm going to have to get back with you on it.
We'll
I just call it the SCREEN Act.
Okay, the SCREEN Act. So
it's going through Energy and Commerce.
Okay, well, we will encourage people just to contact their members of Congress to support the SCREEN Act. All right, I want to turn, we got 2 minutes left. I want to turn to another piece of legislation that you're working on, which I really like, the In God We Trust Act. We're supporting this. Tell our viewers and listeners about it.
Sure. Well, my bill is going to require federal buildings to prominently display, either like as a sign or to be inscribed into the building, "In God We Trust." So I believe it was 1864. It was first put on our coins, and then 1956, I think, it became our national motto, and it reminds us that our trust is in God Almighty.
Well, and it goes along with a new book that we're coming out, the Family Research Council, In God We Trust. It has actually been about 16 years in the making, and the interesting thing about it is the reason we I started this 16 years ago is they were beginning to take these references to God off of government buildings.
I know.
And they were suing.
Right.
Remember, they were suing to take this off of monuments, of memorials. And we said, we have to preserve this history before it's too late. So we've been taking these pictures and finally got it finished. But this is what happens when Christians get involved, run for office like Mary Miller, people support her.
Yes.
We're turning this around, that we're actually saying, no, we're not taking it off, we're actually putting it on.
We are. It's such a privilege, too. Thank you for all you've done. Like I said, when I was at home on the farm, homeschooling my children, I would listen to you on the radio, and here we are face to face.
Oh, and you're doing a great job, Mary
Thank
Miller.
you.
We are so grateful for the work that you're doing on Capitol Hill.
I have big news, though.
What's that?
On Sunday, I became a great-grandma.
Great grandma.
How about that?
That's a blessing.
I know.
That's a blessing. You're fighting
We're
for
doing this for the next generation.
and you're doing a great job at it. Mary Miller, thanks so much for joining us.